previews out with the link.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the record button is hit. What's going on, everybody? Another episode of the Greenbox Podcast. We still here. You know, the man, what you got to say tonight, baby?
I ain't saying nothing, man. I'm chilling, waiting on these topics. I hope Tony don't play with me again.
Yeah, however I play with you, Dan. I ain't gonna play with you, man.
All right, now, I mean, it's been a couple days, so it should be a little bit to talk about, man. Like, these playoffs.
Man.
Crazy.
Woo!
Playoffs crazy right now.
First off, hands off to Jason Tatum.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
What was the final injury? What was the final injury? Did they put it out yet?
He got a ruptured Achilles.
Ow.
Ruptured Achilles.
That's what I thought it was.
They said he already had surgery, so you know, I mean, he's still gonna be out all next season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terrible one there. That Achilles is a terrible injury to have, man.
Last round with the Bucks, Damian Lillard did the same thing. So his Achilles.
KD, it happened to KD a couple years ago too, though.
In the finals. KD tore his in the finals.
Dang. Yeah, only reason Toronto got one right now.
I agree with that. I ain't gonna argue with that.
But what y'all think about that performance Jalen Bronson put on last night, though?
I ain't trying to be prisoner of the moment, but he may be the most clutch player in the NBA right now. I don't think there's anybody. If I'm down 3 with a minute and a half to go in the game, then I might take Jalen Brunson before anybody. Man.
But what I say last episode, though, when I said who y'all think is the MVP of the playoffs for their team, and I was talking about like the MVP all around.
No. I remember. Yeah, I remember now. I said
Jalen Bronson.
I think I said you did say Bronson. I think I said Jokic.
Tony, who you end up saying?
Yeah. Tony said Halliburton. Hey, which ain't looking too bad because they up 3-1 right now.
Yeah. Are they gonna close out tonight or what?
I believe so. Is Donovan Mitchell playing tonight?
Yeah.
But how effective he gonna be, man?
Right.
On, man.
That's why. Right. I mean, hold on. I think they playing right now.
Going right now.
What's
yeah. Hey, matter of fact, I'm gonna turn the game more here too. But
hold on, I'm gonna put it on mute.
Give me y'all predictions of that game. Then I want to talk about the other game too.
Hey, well, Cavaliers up 42-25 right now with 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, that just means they're going cook them in Indy.
Desperation game versus shit. The way the playoffs been going, this shit ain't over yet.
Yeah, you right about that too. So you right because New York came back down 20 back-to-back games.
But last night, Bronson is the reason why they won that game last night.
Nah, I agree.
Boston was up 16 last night.
Hold on, we can't just say Mitchell Robinson with them offensive rebounds. Like if you watched that game last night, it was Bronson had the points, but man, everybody showed up.
Everybody contributed.
Everybody. Mitchell Robinson was a monster on them boards.
Beautiful thing, man.
Like I was getting ready to say, so I think we all can say that no matter who won tonight, we believe Indiana gonna close that series out, correct?
Yeah, I believe it's gonna be NY and Indiana in the conference finals.
Okay, moving on to the second game tonight. It's a big game 5, man.
I got OKC going crazy tonight. I think that's gonna be a blowout.
I'm with you right there.
I think that's a 3-0. I'm with y'all boys too.
I think OKC gonna go crazy at home tonight.
I really think OKC in 7 games got too much for Denver, man.
Yeah, I think OKC gonna go crazy
top to bottom. I don't think Jokic is enough by itself for them boys.
He tops. But I mean, and you know, I'm a big Jokic fan. I didn't understand when Tony said he didn't like watching him play, but that's a whole nother episode. But at the end of the day, though, he do look tired out there. Like his last 3 games, like he ain't even scored over 25, and that ain't the points, the assists. He only getting 3-4 assists a game in these last 3 games. That's nowhere near enough.
That man, I ain't gonna say I don't like to watch him play.
Nah, you was passionate when you said that.
I said let me rephrase, man. See, See how you doing?
You were passionate when you said that, Tony. You were passionate.
Okay, well, let me rephrase. It's okay watching them, man. I just, you know what I mean? It's not my favorite to watch.
All right, I can take that.
I don't mean to cut you off, man. My man joining the conversation. It's my man Leo.
What's going on, fella?
What's going on? What's going on?
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Darren.
Nice to meet you, Dean.
Yeah, I'm Tony, man. What's going on?
What's going on, Tony? How you doing?
Ain't we just talking about the NBA playoffs right now. If you want to input on that.
Man, look, I was talking with my son a minute ago. Well, first, can y'all hear me okay? Y'all good?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay. We was just talking about Tatum going down.
Oh, man.
Last night.
We just brought that up. That's sad, man.
Yeah, especially with the game he was having, too, man.
What he ended up with 42, right?
Yeah, I thought he had like 48. Or it may have been 42. You might be right.
He was on his way to 50 for sure.
Yeah, he was about to get it, but that boy Brunson though.
Ooh,
man, listen.
I just told them I believe that's the most clutch player in the NBA right now.
Yeah, that I believe that.
He just gonna work you till he get to his spot and then just do what he gotta do.
And what he 5'10", 5'11"?
He just getting to his spot, Darian.
He out there playing with the trees, doing what he want.
He getting to his spot, man. He getting to his spot, and then how he uses his body, his frame. He
find those angles.
Yeah, them angles, man. He just gets to that spot, and then he know he got you on his hip, and
And Tatum left the game with 42.
42.
Yeah. I knew he had like 42, but I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell y'all my biggest disappointment though of watching basketball last night, and even with Jason Tatum rupturing his Achilles. Man, Jimmy Butler disappointed me. Like,
God, don't get me talking about him. He messed up $1,300 for me, man.
But listen to see, I lost some money on that Boston game. I lost some money on that Boston game, and I took Boston straight up on the money line. And if Tatum didn't get hurt, I feel like they was gonna win that game.
Yeah, they was gonna put it out if Tatum didn't get hurt.
I feel like that, but that's gambling, But anyway. Jimmy Butler only took 9 shots. You ain't got Steph Curry on the floor. Who you passing it to that much where you only take 9 shots? Draymond?
Very good question.
I thought Jimmy was going to show out with Steph being out. I thought he was going to put up like 20, 25 easy.
To be fair, last game he dropped. I think he dropped 33 last game. They lost, but I mean, okay, you were aggressive. With Steph Curry not being on the court, man, you got to be aggressive. You got to look to score. You can't be. Come on, man. That was a disappointment. Playoff Jimmy. Come on, man.
That's what I'm saying. That ain't playoff Jimmy what we seen last night.
Nah. And I tell you what, ain't getting them up out of there tomorrow.
Yeah, Ant-Man ain't playing.
He getting them up out of there tomorrow. You won't. Hey, Steph, you won't see Game 6.
I'm glad y'all talking about this. I talk about this with my cousins back in Buffalo, but who y'all think the next face of the NBA is?
It should be Anthony Edwards if he act right.
The only thing that's gonna hold him back is his whole baby mama situation.
But listen though, even right now, it really ain't affecting him.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Negative publicity really don't. It's like he's so young and naive to what's going on. It's like it don't stick to him. It's like the media give him a pass for real. Because the media don't really dig deep into his personal business like they do everybody else.
True.
But it should be Ant. I'm not saying that he going to be the face of the NBA. It should be him. But I wouldn't be surprised if
who's the runner-up
end up being the face of the NBA because he in LA. If Victor Wembanyama, they try to put it on him. Like,
hold on. Hey, before we get off NBA, I don't mean to cut you off there. How did Dallas get the number 1 pick, man?
Hey, Tony,
hey, listen. Hey, Tony, who your favorite basketball player of all time?
I just seen that too.
Your favorite basketball player of all time, Shaquille O'Neal, right?
What? Yeah. Shaquille
O'Neal told the story before the draft lottery. David Stern called him and said, "Hey, do you like warm weather?"
Oh yeah, I remember
weather?
that. I remember that.
Shaq said he liked warm weather.
I remember that.
And all of a sudden, Orlando win the draft lottery.
I remember that.
Who had the number 2 pick that year? It was somewhere cold. Come on, man. I remember LeBron saying he knew he was staying in Cleveland before the draft. Ain't no such thing as a draft lottery, man.
Hey,
no such thing. They made sure the Mavericks got that number 1 pick because of the backlash from trading Luka.
I mean, Kyrie, Anthony Davis, and Cooper Flag ain't nothing to bet your eyes at.
No, not at all.
So going back to that,
can you put Cooper and AD on the floor at the same time?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Cooper gonna be more of a 3 in the NBA.
Yeah, I don't think Cooper got the athleticism to run the 3.
That might be the new face. They go wait.
If he would have went to Utah, if Cooper Flag, if Utah would have got the number 1 pick, oh my God, he would have been the face of the league.
It's his coaching. It's his coaching.
He would have been the face of the league. He'd have went to Utah. But I mean, that's gonna be nice. Dallas is definitely it's gonna be interesting because AD already said he don't want to play the 5.
Lively play the 5.
Lively play the 5. That's what I'm saying. So with Cooper coming in, I think
listen.
His best chance gonna be playing the 4.
How the draft process work for the NBA though? Is it the same as the NFL, like the lowest ranking team?
No, they do a lottery.
They do the draft or the lottery. You're right.
Yeah, yeah. Lottery with.
There's some crazy stuff that if this team get a pick above 6, then they keep it. But if it's below 6, then the other team get it.
Yeah.
It's just
like
crazy.
The Philadelphia 76ers this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Philly got lucky because I think they picked 3rd.
We don't even got a first round pick this year.
So Philly gonna fuck around and get Ace Bailey or Ron Harper's son.
To be honest with you, I think Philly in the best position because they're gonna pick the best player that's left. It's really only a 3-man draft. After those 3, it's a drop off. So Philly at 3, they gonna get the best of whatever's left.
But the boy from Texas is decent.
But don't worry, we got Bronny James on our team though, so we good.
Hey Ryan, chill with the disrespect. Chill with the disrespect, man.
But I'm looking at Bryce going to Tucson, going to Arizona. I don't know how he gonna play in that West Coast system.
College basketball should be interesting next year. There's a lot of good names in college basketball.
Yeah. Who did Gilbert's son commit to?
He just got in that action too, but they said he went to dang.
Did he stay in California?
It might be USC there.
So USC.
I think he did.
USC stayed in Cali. He stayed in Cali.
I was going to go to same school. Bryce.
Man, I like when high school kids go out their comfort zone.
Yeah.
If you was born and raised in Maryland, don't go to Maryland University. Branch out.
He committed to USC.
Yeah, he stayed home.
What about Kion? What Kion Anthony going?
I think he's Syracuse, ain't he?
He did. He did commit to where his daddy went. Right?
Yeah. He went to Syracuse.
Yeah, you did.
Hey, I like Kion. He low key got a bag.
Yeah.
He got a nice bag on him.
Yeah. That's NIL deals, boy.
And the politics kept him out of the McDonald's game.
Since we talking about college ball, what y'all boys think about the whole NIL now? That since we got the NIL, y'all think it's a good thing or y'all think it's a bad thing?
Well, I mean, I think it's good on both. But here's an example I was looking at today for the NIL, and this is just picking a random athlete that's kind of in the news. But his name is Nico. He's the quarterback for Tennessee.
I know you're talking about.
Right. His whole ordeal with the NIL and leaving Tennessee to go to UCLA. You know, there's some things behind it. Like, granted, I think if it fits like who that person is. So Tennessee wasn't trying to give that dude his money. You know what I'm saying? He mad popular. He gonna make his money on social media, all that. They wasn't trying to negotiate him, but then again, you hear that he had a personality issue, and this brings up the whole Shador Sanders. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing that's going on with him. You know what I mean? A lot of cats didn't like his personality. You know what I mean? So instead of Tennessee fighting for like Nico to have him stay and pay him that money, there's like, no, we don't even like your personality. But that NIL deal, man, like I said, I think it's good. It's good for like, I think athletes who don't come from shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they need that for them and their families, but like, I'm not even mad at the NFL, and I'm saying this I'm saying this for like the store standards. I'm not mad because the dude already got money. You know what I'm saying? So them teams was looking like, hey, we don't got to spend a bag on a player, you know what I'm saying, over quality. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of a strategic move they was doing. Of course, we always go have the race issues brought up in there. You know what I'm saying? His daddy, who his daddy is, but the whole NIL deal, I think it fits if that player, that athlete comes to that school with the right mentality. You know what I'm saying? If he's actually hungry, you know what I mean, don't come from shit. You know, we already know the classic urban stories about these athletes coming in college. You know what I mean? Some come from the silver spoon. Like, so for instance, if they do Cayenne Anthony a bag like that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You think that's gonna change his personality? Nah, he still go ball out. You know what I'm saying? He still go do him because he already came for money. You know what I mean?
I'm on the
So
side of the athletes. I want them to get every dollar they can
yeah,
out them universities.
no, yeah,
You know
for
how much
sure.
a Power 5 school make off of athletics? Even
You could,
the money that they are giving to college athletes is still drops in the bucket. If they had to open the books and show, and these institutions had to show how much money they make off of football, basketball, volleyball,
yeah,
the athletes would really be asking for something. But other than that, I heard a story about that guy in Tennessee. To go back what you were saying, they said last year in the playoffs, he was threatening to hold out, not play if they didn't negotiate more money for next season.
mhm,
He's a bad example of the money can go
That's
to
what
the
I'm
right,
saying.
head.
I think
right,
that's wrong.
That's very wrong. That's
Because
very wrong.
for one, you going to school, you got a full ride, you're getting paid. It's not like you in the NFL. I understand. I agree with you. The college athlete deserve to get some type of money, but like at the same time, you're going to school for free and you getting paid.
hmm
Like
I'm,
it's
I'm a
no.
big component. I'm a big component of honor the contract.
hmm
You signed it.
respect. You know what I'm saying? The terms.
I'm a big component of that. I don't even like holdouts in the NFL and all. You signed
You
that.
know,
You signed it.
yeah,
Like that's my thing. Like I just think like with the whole NIL, I like it, but at the same time now these players are starting to. I think they're starting to abuse it.
Yeah.
Nah, because it's still only a select player that's really getting some money. Some of these schools got a NIL collective where they put money in a pot so everybody can get a little bit of money. But still, like we saying with Tennessee, it's still the quarterback. It's still the star wide receiver. It's still the
hmm
star defensive end. And you know what I'm saying? It's still the certain
hmm
players that's really touching a million, 2 million, 3 million, and it's going to their head. Some of them, like the dude in Tennessee, was a prime example of if somebody wanted to say,
What not to do?
or if
exactly.
somebody wanted to say the NIL is bad and this is why we shouldn't have it, they could go to and point right to that.
Yeah,
But he
I
was an
agree.
issue coming out of high school. I heard his dad always been about money.
Yeah, yeah,
His dad always been about money, and that's more so the issue though. I don't even think it's the kid. I think it's his dad.
What you think on the situation?
In that situation,
Yeah.
like I said, I agree they should have paid something, but I do agree at some point that some colleges with the boosters and everything, they got too much money to give certain players, and that too much money, like you take a kid making almost as much as his head coach, man, in college.
Yeah, for sure,
Man,
for sure, for sure.
that only happens in the NFL, not college, man.
Yo, they got, if you a 5-star, and this is real, y'all can look this up. If you a 5-star and you commit to the University of Texas, they got a deal with a Lamborghini. You go
mm,
race the Lamborghini and you get yourself one.
mm,
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 Beautiful
mm,
thing.
mm.
You a 5-star coming out of high school. You a freshman you a senior coming out of high school. You commit to Texas, they take you to a Lamborghini dealership.
I would go. I would go.
But what's the knowledge behind that? The education, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, because
It-
now you putting these shiny things in their face. Now
right,
they only thinking about money.
right. So the
that's all
And
I'm
now
quality
thinking
you
about.
play,
take this kid, when you take him out that Lamborghini and you put him on a football field with football pads and a helmet, and you tell him to give you 10 tens up and down the field, and he looking at you like, is you crazy? Nah. This how you got the Lamborghini. Remember, you got to do this first. That's how I would feel like, man. You got to come to my school. You got to show me you love football, and then everything else. I don't feel like a freshman should get NIL. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I feel like your first year in college, I don't think you should be getting it.
If you balling like Cooper Flag coming out of high school, then I think you should get paid. But if you ain't up on that level, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
it
if you
depends
a
on
pro,
what level you coming out of high school with.
if you a program shifter, a game changer, you know what I'm saying? Like dang, like everybody, you know what I'm saying, wants you coming to their school because they know you go put in. You know, I think you should get that money. But I can agree also that statement. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right, then, Derek, I'm gonna say something. So if LeBron would have went to college before the NBA and the NIL was going on back then, and he went to college his freshman year, he shouldn't get paid. That's what you're telling me.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have
to. No, Brown need hell no. Brown should have got paid.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to amend my comment. I might have to like y'all. I'm gonna agree with what y'all just said. Certain players, if you a program changer, like he said, if you what Dick Vitale called him, if you a diaper dandy,
a PTPer.
So yeah, I agree. Like, if you're not nationally ranked, if you ain't in that first top 20, let's say top 100, you know what I'm saying, then you ain't getting no NIL. You gotta work.
I'm with that, but I definitely feel like that draft was rigged though. To double back, like that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah.
A 1.8% chance. A 1.8% chance to get it.
Wizards got the 6th pick, man.
Do you think they're gonna do something about that? Because they're getting a lot of bad publicity right now today.
A whole lot.
They getting a lot of it's a whole bunch of it's rigged, like, and this coming from ESPN, it's coming on everywhere. Fox Sports, people just can't wrap their minds around, like, this can't be no coincidence that y'all let Dallas get the #1 pick.
Yeah,
it can't be.
Man,
if Luka never left, they wouldn't have got the #1 pick.
Now they wouldn't have been in a position to get.
They wouldn't have been in a position to get the #1 pick. That don't sound right to me. Like I think the NBA draft should go like the NFL draft. If you the sorriest team in the league, you on the top of the draft pick.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like eventually they're gonna have to get back to that. But they switched it with the draft lottery because they felt like the Philadelphia 76ers was just tanking every year. You remember they got Ben Simmons, Markelle Fultz, Joel Embiid. That was like they had the #1 pick like 3 out of 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were like, we can't keep rewarding this team for losing by giving them the #1 pick year after year. So that's when the draft lottery came around. And if you got the worst record, I think you get like a 14% chance of getting the #1 pick. If you the second to worst, you got like a 10% chance, and the percentages keep going down. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, so on and so forth. To the point that Dallas won it with 1.8% chance.
All right, so tell me this: why do you think the NBA ratings are going down? Like the NBA ratings are going up now with the playoffs because this is probably one of the best players we've seen in a long time. Why y'all think that the NBA ratings are going down instead of going up?
Oh man, it's the culture. It's not the. I'm glad you said that, Ryan. So y'all in Maryland, right? So I'm from Buffalo, New York, right? So growing up,
I'm an honorary member of BSB, Benny Butcher and 38 Special, them boys.
I'm
an honorary member.
Hey,
they know me.
but it was more it touched us more culturally. You know what I'm saying? Every time I turn on the NBA or whatever, like, and that's what I'm saying. When we talked about the face of the league, it's somebody like when you turn on that TV, like Mike. You know what I'm saying? You already had that feeling like everything stopped. Everybody come to see this dude, man. Like, I can't connect with these dudes today, man. Like, they turn on the TV, it's a damn fashion show. Niggas walking into the locker room. You know what I mean?
You think Mike the GOAT? Because
you
just said that like he be glowing or something.
Well,
Hey man, let the make this point.
It's not even it's the correlation. What I'm saying is like when we grew up, you know what I'm saying? I'm 42. So when we grew up, the NBA was for us. You know what I'm saying? So we were able to relate to that. You know what I mean? Like we were able to relate to neighborhood stories, and we seen our uncles or our people out of our neighborhoods go to the league. And, you know what I mean? now it's so washed. You know what I mean? I think we lost that identity. You know what I mean? If you look at go back and just YouTube like 90s commercials that surrounded the NBA. You had McDonald's, but it was all with a touch of blackness in it. You know what I'm saying? And it's basically we had control of it. You know what I mean? And it fit us. It identified with us. Now, getting back to what you said, Ryan, about the droppings and the ratings. You know what I'm saying? This shit is too showboat, man. It's no passion. You know what I'm saying? And what you're going to see now with them players getting those NIL deals, you're going to continue to see the decrease in the playing of the passion behind it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like, yo, I came from nothing, son. Like I ain't got nothing to go back to. You know what I'm saying? Or this is all I had. So they playing with them. You know what I'm saying?
I also feel like people attention span nowadays are short. On their phone, you got to think it's so many. You got Instagram, you got Snapchat, you got TikTok, you got this, you got that. I feel like, and then you got ESPN. So I feel like they feel as though as long as I keep up with the score, I don't necessarily got to watch the game. I'm still doing this and doing that. I can just hit ESPN every now and then and check the score of the game. If the game get close, then I can turn it on the TV and watch the end of it. I kind of feel like people it's like society changed, man. It's like people don't.
Then why
I don't know how to explain it.
Well, we're distracted. We're too distracted. You know, it's the programming that's happening in our society. Then it's the programming that's happening on what the black man is. You know, what he's supposed to represent. I was talking to I think my daughter or my son the other day. I was like, have you ever noticed we really don't have a black positive male, the masculinity, because now it's identified as toxic. Draymond Green said it 2 weeks ago. I'm tired of being
angry black man.
the angry black man, but that seemed that's how we're always portrayed. You know, and so the positive influence, the role model. You know what I'm saying? How do we identify what is a strong black man? Does he have to be an athlete? Does he have to be an entertainer, a rapper? Because that's all we seem to identify with.
But as long as you live in that, as long as you live in your kid's household, then you gonna be that strong black man they see.
Right. Man, say it again.
So you ain't gotta look on the TV. Tell them look at the dinner table when I'm sitting here with you.
That's right.
Look at me pulling the driveway coming home from work.
That's right. But that's not what society will portray for us.
No, for sure. No, it's not. It's not.
And to go back to what you said, that social media shit.
I feel like sometimes we can use that as a cop out to say, see, look, they learned that off the TV. They learned that from listening to that rapper. And we could be more involved. Not saying you not, don't take this like that. But I'm saying as black fathers, we can be way more involved in how it could shape our kids.
Yeah,
and though like you could listen to Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, and all that, but as long as you got a good foundation in that structure from your actual parents, I think it could overcome some things.
I disagree with that statement, man. I don't want my kids listening to that because all that music is programming. You know what I'm saying? And I say that, you know what I'm saying, and no discredit to what you said, you know, because you're right. Our kids should have the freedom to listen to whatever they want, as long as they have that foundation at home, right? That mom or that father, you know what I'm saying, to be in their ear and give them that grounding, you know. But also that music is programming. And I tell my kids, I'm like, hey, you three people. You the person you are when you with me and your mama in this house. You the person you are when you're around your friends and whoever you want to be at, and then you the person that nobody knows when you by yourself and you're doing all your inside dirt.
Good way to break it down too.
You know what I'm saying? Don't let that person that you are away from us get your ass whooped back here. You know what I'm saying? So when you go out there, understand who you represent. You know what I'm saying? You represent the family, my name. You know what I'm saying? I think we lost that. You know what I mean? Because I got older kids too. I got older and younger kids. So you know, the influence that my younger ones see on my older ones, you know, sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's not. But the accountability piece, you know what I'm saying? I'm just as guilty as showing them wrong, my children wrong, you know what I'm saying? But me holding myself accountable to ensure that, hey, okay, they learn that from me, you know what I'm saying? And not, like you said, on social media or maybe what they have heard, you know. And I think I'm glad we're on this topic because the biggest thing, you know, we can talk about, even with the positivity and direction of the black man, is our ego. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing's more sensitive than destroying a black man's ego. You know what I'm saying? Because we have never been learn how to cope as generational black men. You know what I'm saying? It's historic. You know what I'm saying? We always been meant to be broken down. You know what I'm saying? When you're always broken down, then of course you're going to react with anger or negativity or violence. You know what I'm saying? I just think the whole programming of that music, what you see on TV, and social media, it's all a distraction. It all takes us away from locking into the NBA and watching these great athletes. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot, man. Man, Ryan, you right, man. I knew I was gonna love this group. You know what I'm saying? It's just talking. You know what I mean? It's nice. It's good.
Yeah, I think it's a couple things well, you guys hit a lot of it on the head with the distractions and everything, but I think it's, you know what I mean, when load management came in a couple years, that's another thing that led to the decline in the interest of the NBA, I think. And it's not like we got a lack of stars now. There's some stars coming up with the older stars leaving. So I think the playoffs this year, minus the couple bad injuries that we have, I think the playoffs this year really helping the NBA again gain interest and good feedback. I don't know what they can take away from the NFL, because the NFL never lost numbers no matter none of their scandals and stuff, you know what I mean? So
the only time they lost numbers was when the protest was going on.
And that wasn't very long.
That way, you see them owners cleaned it up.
Fast.
They cleaned it up.
I don't know what notes they could take, but
what protest is that? What are you talking
about? When Kaepernick and them were taking the knee.
I
think that was when George Floyd died. I think it was the George Floyd, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
Like 2020 or 2021. It was all that COVID as a volatile year. A couple of years we had in a row.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, it was a crazy couple of years back then, man.
That was on top of political stuff getting thrown in there.
Woo. Hey, before we get into this little vet talk, just because y'all kind of brought it up without really bringing it up, and we kind of touched a little bit on it last time. What is the difference in music today than what it was with us growing up? Like, yeah, Leo, you might be a little bit older than us, but we're roughly around the same age.
The message.
But what I want to get across is like nowadays, I don't even really listen to hip hop no more. I listen to old school R&B.
Yeah.
I still listen
to R&B nowadays because it has no meaning in it.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you a true story. You know, my daughter was down here a couple weeks ago. I was listening to Trey Songz. She stopped the song and said, "You listening to a pedophile?" I said, "What is going on in the world? When did Trey Songz become a pedophile?" I didn't know.
Yeah, man, he got a couple.
I didn't hear the allegations. I
was gonna say that I heard a couple.
That's to me.
And that's what I'm saying. Like Trey, like that's. And to your point, Ryan, I don't listen to new R&B. I still go back and listen to Trey. So I don't know, man. I don't know, but I feel like the difference to me is the messaging behind the music, and more so the imagery. The imagery is really what's doing it, because you can watch the video and you can see the ass shape. You can see them playing with a Draco, with a net. Like, the imagery is really what's doing it, because everybody dressed like the rappers. Like, hip hop culture, believe it or not, hip hop culture influences the whole world, not just the ghettos, not just the slums. It influences the suburbs as well.
Facts. You got Japanese niggas. You got Thailand rap niggas.
Man, I'm telling you, it's like I think I forgot what politician said. It was a black politician. I like him, and he said they love everything about us except us.
So it's time to be one.
All right, so what was the turning point to where R&B turned into love into straight just sex?
When females start treating sex like it was just a regular thing.
I'll tell you exactly when it started or what happened to music. So before I even begin, everybody see the movie Sinners?
Yeah.
I started watching, I fell asleep on it. You talking about that joint with Michael B. Jordan?
Bro, you say you throw the most shade of anybody, bro. He gonna say I started watching and fell asleep on it.
Because it's It's like 10, 11 o'clock at night. I gotta work in the morning, dog.
Hey, Tony, did you catch that? You ain't catch that one, Tony.
How's that throwing shade?
Because
I fall asleep on an NBA game, a good NBA game. That don't mean nothing.
I'm just going off your track record of throwing shade. I'm going off your track record of throwing shade. My bad.
Ryan, how far are you making into the movie? Remember? And the only reason I'm asking,
so I was watching the
movie
with somebody, but when it said it was horror, it said horror. They didn't want to watch it. They don't like horror movies.
Okay, so I won't use this reference, but there's a scene in the movie where it actually has an undertone to what actually, I guess, where we identify as the music in our culture. So so historically we know that music is vibration and frequencies, right? And that's a sense of controlling. You can get a speed frequency reader and they can do a tone and they can change it. And then we see also things of how they put the sand on the table and they turn up the volume or the sound or the frequency and it makes all these different shapes. So they change the frequency to the music. You know what I mean? And what you said also as well is the imagery. So where the game changed at the actual message is when they knew they could control us and they knew we were the money makers. And that goes back to the history of where it started, right? So if we start at slavery, we had to turn from the African hymns to the Christian gospel hymns, and eventually that music became blues, it became the jazz, it became the down south Chitlin market, and then it turned into the R&B. The blues and jazz was the first R&B, you know what I'm saying? But all that resonated with the shit we were going through, our lives, the struggle, especially when you listen to the old school blues and in the old school R&B. And it was more about love. Why? Because we were more united. We had our society, our people, you know what I'm saying? We were segregated, so we only had each other. You know what I'm saying? So it was unity. We had to rely on each other for survival, right? So we had these songs that resonated what we were going through. When the white people, when I say white people, listen carefully, it wasn't just the white people on these plantations, it was these Jewish people who own all the music companies, the ones who control the sound waves, who can get that music out. You know what I'm saying? Perfect example, that dude who, you look at Cadillac Records, you know what I'm saying? He locked down Etta James real quick. You know what I'm
saying? He was giving his artists just Cadillac. Whenever they need money, just come on to me. I give you a little bit of money.
But imagine how much money he made.
Oh, for sure.
The real name of that company was Chess Records. Yeah.
Sure.
So I think the control of our music, the imagery, and then just how let me continue, because I was on a path of just trying to explain. And then when I said about unity, right? We were segregated, so we had our own community. So then what happened, right? There's a thing called Planned Parenthood. Heard the story about Planned Parenthood? So Planned Parenthood was started to break up the Black community. It wasn't as what you identify it as today. As well, when I grew up, I knew Planned Parenthood was like, that's where females go to get abortions. You know what I'm saying? That's how I identified it. But growing up and reading and understanding some things, you know what I'm saying, what actually happened, and this some of this came from my auntie. You know what I'm saying? They said back in the 50s and 60s, when we still had those communities, and we were at the beginning and turn of the civil rights movement, right? So there's this, and I'm going to speak carefully. What happened was there was a let's say a powerful white society, right? They seen everything, right? So what they did is, we have to break that up. They cannot be united. So what they did is they sent women into the ghettos, into the slums. Now historically, the Black man is at work, working long hours all day. Mom is at home taking care of the kids. Black man comes home. What's up, sweetie? Feed the man, take care of the babies. My kids play with the dad. Now here comes the white woman. It basically giving a sense of empowerment to the mom, but it causes the divide between the husband and wife. So, for instance, she coming in there like, you shouldn't have to do this by yourself. He's at work and you're here taking care of the kids. You're tired. You need a vacation, or you need to have fun, or go get your hair done. You know what I'm saying? Stuff, putting that shit in her head, right? So now the man comes home, she's hearing this shit all day. And now he got an attitude. Now he's trying to figure out what's going on. Like, yo, what's going on? Nobody ever taught us about coping with our emotions. Nobody ever taught us about that. So what do? You know what I'm saying? We either go become aggressive, fight back with our significant others, our spouses. We go turn to the bottle. We go turn to the drugs. We go turn to the streets. But it's the classic case. What we know is the black man divided. He left the house. You know what I'm saying? So now you get the whole stereotype. The black boy never grew up with a black father. Well, of course, we didn't leave our house voluntarily. We were almost forced out. You know what I'm saying? Based off of our foundation, what our survival. You know what I'm saying? So what's the classic saying? Conquer and divide, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or divide and conquer. Excuse me. You divide and you conquer. I said that backwards. Divide and conquer.
I agree with that.
And it
So
goes back.
I know y'all seen the new political news that's going on right now. How do y'all feel about Donald Trump accepting that plane from Qatar?
Oh, didn't he have the meeting today? Or he's in Riyadh today?
They just told me about that today.
I didn't even know he got a gift like that.
Oh, $80 million jet. Doesn't Qatar fund Hamas?
So with government gifts, I don't know exactly how that works. If another government gifts another government, you know what I'm saying? That's all up there. I ain't going to run the pockets of the Saudis and the cats in Qatar, you know what I'm saying? Because if they giving away a $400 million jet, that's a drop in the bucket to them.
I mean, a real drop in the bucket. He up there giddy, and I seen something.
Say what?
I seen something that they
No.
said that is basically you can't accept gifts from a foreign government.
You're not supposed to.
You're not. Yeah, I think you're right too. I don't think you're supposed to. You know, or
those are the type of questions they ask you when you get your security clearance.
Well, I heard if you're a federal worker, y'all can't even accept more than $50. And somebody like take y'all out to lunch or something, it can't be more than $50.
Only so much we can say on the cast. I can't say so much, but
oh, my bad. Hey, listen. You know, all you gotta do is blink twice if I say something correct.
Fuck them. I'm out, so I don't care about them. You know what I'm saying? But I will still speak respectfully. With the whole funding thing, I know if it's over a certain amount, you know, like you said, $50, and I think it's just like the taxes in the IRS. If you say have anything reportable over 10 grand is reportable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
I think it's reportable prices. You know what I mean? Because you know when I was in, there's times where people wanted to buy me dinner or buy me. I mean, it wasn't no extravagant shit. You know, in that case, what we talk about is more the extravagant gifts. You know,
how do black soldiers get treated when y'all go to other countries and stations? Do they treat y'all better than they do the white people, seeing as though y'all probably more close to what they normally associated with?
Look, when I was in Korea, I felt so weird and awkward. Like a big person. But like I was towering over everybody and like for instance, like you walking down the street, say you walking in the heart of London town right now, and you pass somebody on the street that you never seen before. Yeah, you're gonna look at them, but once you pass them, are you still gonna have your head turned back watching them the whole way down the damn street?
No.
That's how it was in Korea.
But was that for all of y'all, or was it for all of y'all, or just the black soldiers?
It was majority just black soldiers, for real. That's
that nigga walk by a white soldier and wouldn't look over their shoulder.
Man, I'm telling you, like you could tell ours was on you out there.
That goes back to the image of us that everybody thinks that we are, man.
But I'm saying, what about like the middle? How were you ever close to the Middle East?
I was in Afghanistan, yeah.
The locals gotta treat y'all better than they did the white boys.
Man, look.
In the Middle East?
Man, because you gotta understand, like you out there, you in a war zone. So you can't trust them.
True.
Because you got a lot of them that will play buddy with you and they strap on a fucking bomb and blow up the fucking defect.
Yeah.
So like you gotta keep them at arm's reach. I met a lot of cool motherfuckers out there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't trust them. Especially when they what they call it, Leo, Ramadan. During Ramadan, they don't eat during the day. All they do is drink water during the day.
They're not even supposed to be drinking water during the day. You're not supposed to put nothing in your
You're not spaz. So geographically, depending on where you speak, Ryan. So you're talking about Southeast, or the Middle East is considered Southeast Asia, but Korea, yeah, that's like East Asia.
Yeah,
Um,
like, I just
it-
threw. Yeah,
no,
I
no,
just threw it out there.
no, I got it. But you always want to take in considerations. That may have been somebody's first time actually seeing a black man, right? Like in person. So if they turn it around looking like,
Man,
damn, you know
man,
what I'm
how
saying?
many like Korea? Like how long we been over in Korea now?
No, no, you're right. But you'd be surprised how a lot of people don't, just because they live in the city don't mean they go, or just because they live in the country don't mean they travel to the city. They may be rural all their lives. And I tell you a perfect example. 13, I was in Afghanistan. I was on the Pakistan border. So I'm with some SF cats, and they came in, and I just hear them over talking. He said one of the locals they had ran into in the mountains thought they were the Russians. So now we got big ass American flags on us, but it just gives you how it gives you an insight to how secluded he was back in those mountains. You got to think the Russians occupied Afghanistan in the 80s.
Yeah,
So 30 years, something 40 years before that, he's still thinking because he's so secluded. You know what I'm saying? That the Russians are still here, but it's American forces. But going to what you were saying about, um, so if we shift now to the Middle East, when they do Islam and Ramadan, um, they're not supposed to be drinking water during the day. And honestly, like when I was on ground and on foot, I never had a bad interaction with any Middle Eastern, as far as now culture wise. Like they see my skin and they have an issue. Now, of course, we got the uniform and American flag on. That's when they got the issue. But you got, I think there's a misconception too, also about what's going on over there in Afghanistan and Iraq or Syria. And we will start going down a hole or a path that's going to start identifying the corruption and the evil doings of the United States. We'll just leave it right there because we're going to open up another door. You got to understand that these people have been in war a thousand years before the United States occupied. So this is all they fucking know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they only know invaders, invaders, invaders. And honestly, what are the United States is 236 years old. I don't know. We haven't, from when I guess the Constitution was, the Declaration of Independence was established, but our whole country, we've been nothing. We know nothing but war.
Yeah.
You know, so
Who got all that equipment they supposedly left? Or is that even true?
no, that's true. The Taliban got it, and we still fund the Taliban to this day.
So
We still
that
fund. We still fund the Taliban to this day.
okay.
That's fact. We pay them millions a month, millions a month. But the one thing about that gear, that equipment you see, that shit is gonna that shit. If they don't keep up with it with the maintenance, it's gonna go downhill. But here's the thing: everybody think the Taliban is some ragtag living decay cats. Nah, Jack. These cats got millions. They control the world's number one opiate supplier, or they are number one world's opiate supplier. The cartel answer to them cats. That's when you know you got power. You know what I'm saying? Like just like how everybody buy their coke from Colombia or try to get the coke from Colombia. Same thing with Afghanistan. That's where the purest poppy comes from, the opiate plant. You know what I mean? But as far as what we talked about, like anything black related, I've never been hated on for saying if they seen a black soldier and just was like, get your black ass out of here." No, nobody has ever said no. You know what I'm saying? Or your black ass ain't wanted over here, or that's your drinking fountain. None of this shit that if we look back at our history about all the black soldiers who came back from Vietnam, Muhammad Ali, everything what they were saying, you know what I'm saying, what they experienced, I've never experienced that in uniform. Not by a foreigner, but I can tell you I experienced it in uniform here in the United States, racism in uniform.
look,
Speaks a lot.
I've experienced it in uniform and out of uniform. I experienced it in Afghanistan from my old commander, and I experienced it in Romania.
Okay, so you talking about actual people in the military with us, or are you talking about just the local national? Who are you talking about, Ryan? Like the people of Afghanistan, like the Afghanis themselves, or now you
So,
talking?
look, and this was my commander. This is I ain't gonna lie, like the whole time I served 8 years. The most racist shit I ever heard while I was in, we were doing in U.S.
Came from somebody in uniform, right? It didn't come from it.
We
Oh,
doing
right.
a UA.
Okay.
In uniform?
Yeah.
Doing a UA.
So
Oh,
listen,
nah.
there's a lot of hidden racism in the
Like when you
military.
do a UA, like they call you by your last name in the military. So doing a UA, they got your first, middle, and last name, your DOD number, all that shit. So my commander seen what my name was. So I walk in there with my pistol. He was like, at that time I was a PFC. He was like, PFC counselor, something, man, your name is Ryan? I was like, yeah, sir. He said, I thought your name would be Jartavius or something like that.
Damn.
I would never forget that or something like that. I told my N2RC and he dug in his ass and my commander came back to me like an hour later, apologized. And I'm just like I could have said your name was a boo-boo. But I would have got an Article 15 or I would have got recommended by saying some shit like that. But then the Romanian incident was a low. I was me and my mans, we was walking like along a pier, and there was a little boy swinging on the swing. As we walked by, he just threw up the middle fingers, right?
I don't got any. My bad, fellas.
Now you're good. Like the Romanian situation, we walking on the pier, and there's a little boy swinging on the swing, and he just and they in Romania they call them gypsies. I know you heard of gypsies before, right?
Yeah.
So he throwing up the middle fingers at us. We pay him no attention. Then when we walk back through, like an hour later, he's on the boardwalk. Then like what he said, you could tell he said the N-word, calling us that. And if I was a common SOB, I would have hit him with a Marshawn Lynch step arm, and he would have went right in the water. But that would have called an international incident. You know, like it should happen, man. It should
there's a lot of racism in the military, and it's softened like how Ryan just mentioned it. You know what I'm saying? They say it in the content of, oh, I thought your name would have been Jartavius, meaning it's a friendly jab. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not meant to be harmful, but then again, your interpretation is everything. But what you see in now today, it's always been there. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I laugh when people be like, I don't even laugh. I just think we don't have the guidance to. I think as Black Americans, you know what I'm saying, we got a veil over our vision, right? You know what I'm saying? Like they throw the smoke in our face, so we can't break through this cloud of just like, hey, we still fighting about certain shit, or we still getting pissed off about certain shit. If somebody called me the N-word, and I'm laughing. I'm like, oh, okay, like you know what I'm saying? Because I know that is delivered to them. You know what I'm saying? And the way to derive from that is what they see off of the TV and all the bad imagery, just all that shit. You know what I mean? But man, it's crazy. I just laugh. I just laugh because there's bigger shit that we gotta be prepared for. You know what I mean? But we're so caught up in this whole this racial identity and this race war. Man, I grew up with poor whites in the hood, poor Mexicans, Latino, Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? So somebody I think who come from that environment in that era, that whole racism shit don't really bother us. You know what I'm saying? Don't bother me. You know what I mean? Like white people, they bother me, but they only bother me to the extent of where, you know what I'm saying? Not now you trying to demeanor me as a person. You know what I'm saying? Not we got cool whites. You know what I'm saying? We got cool Latinos. We got cool Asians. You know what I'm saying? One of the most ignorant thing is one of the things I heard a couple years ago. He get the N-word pass. I'm like, well, what's that? You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, he can say the N-word. I'm like, no, 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 like, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. It ain't gonna be no level of coolness like that.
He ain't lying. No such thing as no pass.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd never heard of that, but that's the way our societies be, especially our youth. You know what I'm saying? But I think when they start demeaning you as a person, bro, like as your character, trying to assassinate you. And Ryan, you already know I went through this the last 2 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you dealt with that, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I don't know how you dealt with everything you was going through.
Now I prayed. I just gave it to God. And look who had the last laugh, B. Out of all that shit they wrote about me, all that shit they told me, you know what I'm saying? When I could have went upside their head. You know what I mean? But it was a different post when they came back from Romania and I seen them. But that's what they do. They talk shit behind your back, smile in your face. So I mean, it don't matter. You know what I mean? It don't matter at the end of the day. As long as you know that who you are, how you hold strong, and you spiritually grounded. You know what I mean? Nobody can beat that. I mean, nobody can beat that.
Yes, sir.
You know, and that's I just love you. Remember that, Ryan? Like you see me walking and praying. You know what I'm saying? Just minding my business. Like you know what I mean? Like I just gave it to him, man. They put me in a position where I literally couldn't do anything. You know what I mean? Couldn't get an attorney, couldn't drive, couldn't do a lot of things. My freedom of maneuver was limited. You know what I mean? Fascinated my character, wrote all type of shit about me, thinking this is going to be upheld in the court. You know what I mean? Then at the end of the day, what did the jury come back like? Nah, you good. We got you. Go ahead and get out with your honorable. We got you. You know what I mean? But
Everything worked out. Everything worked out.
it did, man. It's just more prevalent. You know, if we talk about the racism, it's always been here. It's just more televised. Everybody got a phone. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a camera. It never went nowhere. It's just televised. Everybody can.
They still around. They always gonna be around.
Yeah, especially down here.
I don't know what I think he's dealing with his daughter.
Yeah.
He probably L talk too much. Let me take a break real quick.
Nah, I was just trying to get some. I just want to get some closing statements from everybody before we get up out of here. And he put the wrong. That's the old logo.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that we ain't hometown huddle no more.
Darren, what are you doing? You got hometown huddle as your background, man.
Don't worry, I can edit that part out. You get your final statement. Let this man get his damn background right. We only got 2 more minutes, Darren. Another minute or 2, and then we out of here. Cause I gotta get up early in the morning.
I got bath time.
What's your background, Darren?
I had to get her too, though.
Look at your background.
What she did to my background?
You back?
Oh my God! No. She did that.
You seen the hometown huddle pop? I was like, come on, man.
Now you know I didn't do that. She did that.
Nah, no. So what I was saying, like,
yeah.
Like any closing statements before we get up out of here.
Man, we got to run this back.
Yeah, it's healthy. This is good. This is real good.
We got to run this back, man.
A good conversation, man. You know, it's good hearing from other brothers, their perspective. You know, is how we all know it's how it is to be a black man in America, man. So you know,
Even when you start a country,
even outside the country, as an American, as a black American, it's just rough. A black American man. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I agree with that. And you know, Ron, I done told you before. Appreciate y'all for your service, though.
Automatic. I'm gonna bring my brother on here with y'all next time too.
I called him. He didn't pick up because I was gonna get him to chime in.
I'll get him on.
I appreciate you, fellas, man. Yeah, it's good.
Appreciate you too, man. Appreciate you coming on.
For sure.
Ryan sent a YouTube link over so we can get some YouTube subscribers. And I think it's another great show, guys.
All right, man. Y'all boys,
agree,
man.
All right, you too, man.
Bet. Ryan, let me know.
All right, guys.
Yep.
All right, now.